nowhere near ready to go, so
it's not putting any ink in pots or anything.
Don't even know why you're winding him up.
Eddie, you can rush this tattoo, it's fine. Well, my Friday started with picking up Carl from the train station at 2 o'clock. So we went to the pub, had a couple of pints, and then picked Chris up and took him over to Eddie's games room, so they could drop the bags off and sit down and have a rest. And we played some games. We played a bit of Parodius on the Saturn. We played Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo, and we played a little bit of Street Fighter as well, and I think I beat them all.
Woodland was already a bit tipsy, so I had a good crack with him straight away. Chris, really nice guy, came across as knew we were going to get on straight away. Presented us with a nice bottle of cognac.
On Friday I got here last and I couldn't get in because I buzzed on and Roger wouldn't let me in, completely messing about with me, as he always does. Johnny had quite a few beers and his eyes were a bit red, but he also had a good time. And Carl, he'd had a few beers as well, so together they made quite a team.
Then it was time to Chris to get his tattoo and winding him up a little bit about it, telling him that Eddie can hurt him as much as he wants basically. And he was getting quite nervous, I could tell, rightly so really. But yeah, we had a good crack in here, really good fun. Johnny and Woodland just got absolutely steaming.
It was nice to meet Carl again, Woodland 37, and nice to meet Chris Ashankt for the first time. A really nice guy. Obviously he was nervous and apprehensive about getting his tattoo, but for a great cause, and it was nice having everyone together. I'd never done a live stream before, so I was nervous, but all in all it were a really good experience, good do.
Me and Carl have this thing where he dogs me about playing rugby and says that American football is better and that rugby players don't take the contact and stuff. So I was trying to explain to him how wrong he was, but he's just thick. He just like, I tried to rugby tackle him. I don't know whether it was just because he was pissed, but honestly, he's stupid.
I can't remember what else happened after that. Funnily enough.
Well, after we did the tattoo, I had booked a table for us lot to go and have some food. So we went to the pub, had a couple of beers. I don't think Johnny and Carl needed any more beers, to be honest with you. They'd had enough by then.
Chris Ashankt got what's called a level 3 Big Daddy burger, and he ate it within 5-10 minutes. Never seen anything like it in my entire life, and he did earn the right to call himself a fat bastard. Carl, on the other hand, didn't even eat one bite of his burger and completely let himself down. He let everyone down.
Woodland can't eat for shit. He's terrible. I gave him a sample of my doner meat and he's like, oh my god, it's the best thing I've ever tasted. So he ordered a baby portion of doner meat as well as his meal, ate half doner meat, gave half to Johnny, ate his chips and left his burger. I don't know why he left his burger, because it looked lovely.
Woodland was so busy going on about whether it's dessert, pudding, I don't give a fuck, just eat your burger. And he didn't even touch it, and I had to take it home.
After the meal, everyone went their separate ways. Johnny went with Roger. Danny, Chris and Carl came back to my house to play a few games on the Dreamcast. It was Beats of Rage. Danny was loving a bit of Beats of Rage. As he was playing, Carl was sat down, talking away, and all of a sudden we looked over, down in his chair like this, had his head up, like this, had his head up, like that.
Get Johnny on the couch, get him a drink, get Diablo on, and couldn't figure out how to get Johnny a character. You couldn't sign him as a guest or anything, so I tried to get him on some other profile. And I was like, oh, can you not just use this profile? It's a bit into it. He was like, no, I want to start from the beginning. So eventually got it set up. After about 20 minutes of that, I think it took about 30 seconds before I realised that Johnny's character was just completely still on the screen and I was getting battered. I was like, Johnny, what are you doing? And he's just completely flat out. Just...
and Roger had press passes, so we were feeling quite smug as we walked past the literally hundreds and hundreds of people that was queued up outside to a small little press queue right outside the door.
Walking across the queue to get to the press pass queue, somebody shouted my name and it was Lee Clemo, so it was nice to see him, gave him a wave.
We were in this queue for maybe 25 minutes, half an hour, and started to move. And so we were moving up, and all of a sudden we peek over the people. We see Johnny, we see Roger, we see Chris. They're still in their queue, and I look at my phone. You guys aren't going to be in for ages.
Doing like everyone else in before the press, so we were in this little queue, but we had to wait pretty much until everyone else had gone in.
Well, as soon as you went in, you could see the queue for the Oculus Rift, which wasn't actually that long, but to the left-hand side there was a massive stall vendor type thing with loads of retro games, SNES, NES, Master System, Mega Drive, anything that you could think of, they had it. And the first thing I saw was that there was a box of Atari Jaguar for 60 quid, which I thought, hang on, that's quite reasonable.
First thing we went to see, me and Roger, was the Oculus Rift, and to be honest, that was the highlight of my weekend.
Saw Glenn Plant in the queue there, didn't really get a chance to speak to him there, but yeah, I think we queued for about 15-20 minutes, if that, and it's a good job we did because it was busy all weekend after that.
I've always wondered what it'd be like, so finally putting it on, trying it, it was absolutely amazing.
It was everything I hoped it'd be, and I just cannot wait until the next couple of years when something like that we can get our hands on, because I will be all over it like a dirty rash.
You don't feel within another world because there's no atmosphere, you don't get breeze or anything like that, so you know you're not in another world, but the sensation you get is awesome.
When I had the headset on, I was completely immersed into it straight away, and it really got me sucked into the game. I remember I could hear the guy speaking to me, I don't know what he was saying to me, he just wasn't registering. I was just completely immersed, and I didn't want to take it off.
And then when you release the fly button, you sort of free fall back to the floor, and literally did get motion sickness, my stomach dropped when I went down. It's certainly worth trying if you haven't done, or if you've got any interest in it at all, you will love it.
For me, the highlight, as soon as I walked in, I could see the arcade, and I felt like I was 8 years old again. Absolutely loved spending the time in the actual arcade with all the different cabs and playing on things like Turbo Outrun.
So I found it a Street Fighter arcade. Carl went on Rainbow Island, and Danny walked off trying to find another one as well, and bumped into the first YouTuber that I recognised. It was Raz. It was Sweet Gamer John. He came over as a surprise. He didn't tell anyone who was coming, so I pointed him in the direction of Carl, and he went over to Carl and hey, and he pulled out his bag, he gave him loads of gifts, and he said to me, "You're not getting anything, you've got too much, I've seen your games room."
Met a lad called Liam, Sam Hain, who comments on the channels, a really nice guy, nice to chat to him, and met a few other people as well. But then we headed up to a vendor stall that was out doing competitions called Retro Collect. I've heard a lot of people in the community talk about him. Seemed like a really good place to hang out, and nice fellas there. Met up with Stu Ninja Bearug, and then met Shocks, 16 Adam and Tootie UK, among other people, and then all decided to go up to the bar area where people were having a drink, and met loads of people.
And then more drinking commenced.
Went over to the bar and met a load of awesome YouTubers I was really looking forward to meet. Everyone was absolutely awesome. It was really good to finally see people in the flesh.
I'm not a very, very sociable person at the best of times, and it was a little bit awkward for me because I don't really watch everybody's YouTube channel that's either subscribed to our channel or whatever, and so I didn't really know. And obviously I knew a few people, but I didn't really know everyone, so I was a little bit overwhelmed at first. But I got to meet everyone, and it was fine.
It was fine.
This is gold. After after we had a couple of beers, we did go and have a look around as well, see if there was anything that was worth buying. We weren't massive on buying anything for the weekend really. The most important thing was, for me, was the arcade machines.
Had a good look through all the arcades, found the one that I was most interested in, which is Gauntlet. It's for a player, and that's probably one of my favourite arcades, and it was out of order. I was absolutely gutted about that.
But I did find a couple of deals. I ended up getting Rad Racer on the NES for a £5, which people were giving me some stick about, saying it's not worth a £5, but I think it's worth a £5. And I ended up getting Hurricanes on the SNES for a £5 as well. So that was me, that's what I got. Very happy with him, so that's a collection.
But the highlight for me was Sweet Gamer John gave Woodland a pack of 1992 Nintendo like Merlin stickers that you put in like a sticker album, and he gave him a full pack of, they're all unopened, sealed. So Woodland gave me one. Here, have one of these. And in the hotel room I opened one, and the first sticker that came out, it was this ridiculous picture of a horse with armour on, with like human arms and hands holding a sword. And as soon as I saw it, I laughed my head off, and I showed it Roger, and he was laughing his head off as well. I was like, what the hell is that? How is that Nintendo? And it appeared, it came out in the end that it's from Zelda 2. It's one of the bosses on Zelda 2. And but it was like, that for me made the weekend, because it was just a funny time.
So after the Saturday Expo, we went back to the hotel. We were really surprised. A really nice hotel. I don't even know why you'd even want to know how nice a hotel is, but this is where I'm starting.
So we got the general idea that people were going to be meeting up in the traffic centre for a beer.
The shower had a seat in it.
Basically ended up meeting up with Stu, Ninja Bear Hug, and we walked over with him and straight into a bar for a few beers.
And it was very hot.
Everyone that was at the Expo went to there to meet, to have drinks. Some people were giving food, they were chatting, there were a lot of laughs going on. It was really good.
Everyone were a bit rowdy then, everyone were loving it. There were no awkwardness. The star of the show for me were Raz.
We had a bit of a prank played on us actually, because when we left the Expo, Raz was going to come with us apparently. He just got himself a beer, and we were going, so we were saying he'd be alright. People said he's alright and everything. And about an hour later we got a voicemail off Daz, Corners Del Oro. Johnny did, and he was saying, something wrong with Raz, he's not happy, you've left him. I'm trying to calm him down, but he's not calm. And we were like, what have we done? So anyway, he came in with Daz, and they played a prank on him. They're like, hey, we got you, and we could rest easy after that, because he was obviously alright. And then he clonked this down.
I felt sorry for him.
Why?
Because he's always last. And he's a good gamer.
So what's this Famicom going to do? Is it going to improve his gaming?
It's like a
consolation prize.
Yeah.
It's very, very nice of you. Thanks very much.
Can't believe that he came all the way over from Sweden. He was so generous to giving people gifts, and to give me this, I collect for the NES, so I'll be able to collect Japanese Famicom games is fantastic, and I'm so grateful to him.
Ninja Bear Hug got us all to go down to the Namco arcade, and I'm glad he did. I think that's a regular meet-up for tubers when they come up to Manchester, and I can see why. There's tons of great arcades in there. There's a massive four-way outrun, which you cannot link up. I don't think we did do, but we managed to play it, two players, two in a car, and that was great fun. There was also they call it a 4D arcade as well, where you've got 3D glasses on, and it's like on a rail shooter, and it also has like air fired at your face and stuff like that, so that was quite scary. There were plenty of jump scares in there. It scared Roger to death.
We played on the basketball game, shooting hoops. It was me and Roger and Ben Shemuzo, and I hammered their score, and I kept getting continued because I kept doing better and better and better and better. And I got a load of tickets at the end of it, and I got some sweets for it. Brilliant.
Again, a lot of YouTubers playing some Outrun, playing these 4D arcade cabs that Stu had mentioned, and some shooters and all sorts. It was fantastic. It was again one of the highlights for me, because just being able to just put a few coins in a machine and play away. It was again, it was like being young again in the arcades with your mates, and really enjoyed it. It was fantastic.
Sunday was a lot more low key than Saturday, but it was pretty good because it gave us an opportunity to go around and spend some proper time in the arcades and pinball machines.
I ended up going on Chase HQ and almost completed it, but there was someone behind me who really wanted to play it, so I gave it a rest. Played some pinball machines, Punch Out, we played some Street Fighter and some Killer Instinct. Daz Corners Galore kicked all our ass on Killer Instinct, and I beat him on Street Fighter though.
Gauntlet was working, which was absolutely brilliant. I was well chuffed about that. There were two guys on there playing away, and there's obviously, it's 4 players, so I just said, can I jump on there? And he was like, of course you can!
After playing the Outrun arcade at the Trafford Centre, I found like a smaller sit-down version in the arcades, and I managed to get the second highest score on it, so I was really happy with that.
Met up with another YouTuber on Sunday, a good friend of Woodling, Carl, another Carl, Ocarina fella, so it was nice to meet somebody that we didn't know in the community as well. It seemed like a really nice guy.
One of my lifelong dreams was fulfilled around the Nintendo area. I managed to meet Pikachu. I didn't realise at the time that there was a queue of children waiting to have the picture taken, and I kind of just strolled up and pushed in front of about 15 kids, got Danny to take a photo, and then whistled off without even thinking about it, but I was told later that I'd angered a lot of parents and stuff.
Got to spend some time in the Nintendo area and got to try out Sonic Lost Worlds. It's one that I am anticipating and I am looking forward to getting, and after playing it I think it is something that I will enjoy. It was, I really enjoyed it, and also played Zelda Link Between Worlds, and there's some really nice bits of gameplay in there that's new and refreshing in the series, and it does look a lot like A Link to the Past, but that's not a bad thing.
Another cab I got to play on was Robotron. Now, to be honest, I wouldn't have known anything about this unless Arcade Impossible would have mentioned it in our video, and I'm glad he did because I got on it and absolutely brilliant. That's the kind of game I would really get addicted to, and I really hope to get another chance to play that in the future. While I was playing that, a guy who said he was our 3rd subscriber came over to us called Adam. I was a bit taken back because you could tell he was a really big fan, which I wasn't really expecting. I didn't think people looked at us like that. Obviously I know of all the YouTubers and stuff who are basically just friends on there, but this guy, he was saying that we inspire him to make videos and stuff, which he hasn't done yet, but hopefully will do in the future. And it was just really nice to spend some time with him and chat away with him about Amiga stuff.
We're saying bye-bye to the metal box.
We had such an awesome weekend playing games that we all remember growing up with and seeing what is to come in the future. But the greatest thing by far for us was meeting all the people we have come to know in our first year on YouTube. Real people with a real passion for our community, and who are all now real friends.